Hello, and welcome to 108 Healing Senses podcast with my wonderful co-pilot. And it's not just the podcast; this is the Starseed Transmissions series with my co-pilot Laura Ferguson, aka Starseed Lolo. Welcome.
Hello, Jen. Nice to be back. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. There's been some moments that might pop up every now and again, and but things are feeling more steady. So steady is enjoy it while you're in it. And how are you?
Doing okay. Very busy right now, to say the least. How about you?
Yeah. I'm actually going to be going away for about 10 days. So having 10 days off from tomorrow is going to be quite special because it's over Lionsgate. I think there's a solar eclipse next week. And I'm looking forward to some different spaces in nature to be inspired by. So that's my summer holiday jaunt in the making. So yeah,
That's great. That's great. I know you work very hard, and so that's great. And yeah, I know you told me you're not going to get a lot of cell phone service, so that means you're going to be in nature, which is amazing too.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to. It's like its own transformational experience as well when you go somewhere new, and it gives you space to just contemplate on things or feel inspiration come through. Like I'm still writing my book, so I'm intending that I am able to get some good things written down. So that's my intention, and enjoy just a bit of change and maybe less miles that I walk in a day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think I'm ready whenever you are. If you want to get started, it's up to you, unless you have something else.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great one. As with all of these conversations, we're not entirely sure what information wants to come through. Laura, would you like to explain the process just before we flow into it, in case there's anyone that hasn't seen an episode with us before?
Yes. So it is a conversation with the higher self, all of it, and it is a reflection of your higher self. If you are hearing it, you are meant to hear it. And it is all a reflection because we are fractals and we are part of the collective and individual souls, of course. So we don't have to agree on everything or even anything. It is like a download that is coming through for those who are meant to be a part of it, basically.
Yeah, love that. Okay, so whenever you're ready, please get yourself to where you need to be.
Okay, let me just make it a little darker in here. All right. All right. The Greys, a new collective of Greys, are in our presence via showing from the higher self, 7th to 8th dimensional beings.
Thank you for joining us today. Much appreciated.
You're welcome. We have a few things to discuss, such as living in the present moment and going with the flow, because acceptance of the present moment and how it is and what it is the only thing. What happens does not matter. However, Living in the present moment not only keeps you younger physically, it keeps your aura present, clean, fresh. Your auric field does experience what you call damages if you allow it. You are a free will energy being, therefore, nothing or nobody can go against your free will.
Well said. Thank you. Why is this an important time to know that information?
Because a lot of humans have challenges. We will call them challenges because, as they say, quote unquote, life is hard. Life is only really hard if you do not see it for what it is, which is an experience based on your frequency. It does not matter what happens, it matters what you do with it. We are not honoring that life is not hard. However, we are restating that everything happens and is happening rather in present tense for a reason.
Yeah, absolutely. Like chapters in a storybook.
Yes. And as you say, the experience of time, which it is not real, however, the experience is real. The experience of time is moving quicker and quicker and quicker because you chose to experience a collective reality in which it is moving quicker and quicker and quicker. And now it has been propelled since roughly the solstice winter around December 21st of 2012. It has catapulted since then. That is why time has seemed to have sped up for you all.
It's really interesting because I'm finding the days seem to be over quite quickly, at least my work day, which is also a nice thing, but the majority of the day. So what's the why is time speeding up? Is that how does it matter most for us right now?
Because the frequencies collectively are higher, and then you add in your own frequencies and staying in a higher vibration, neutral to higher vibration, because it's about balance. It's not about jumping around and doing backflips all the time, right? Because your body only has so much energy to do something like that, and the adrenaline rush and whatnot is meant for survival, really. However, doing high energetic things such as moving your body, working out, those are all good ways to recycle your energy, because recycling it in a healthy way keeps you balanced. Therefore, the more you recycle it in a healthy way, the more balanced you are, which most humans know this. However, do most do this? No. So if we let it out in a healthy way, one of those ways is exercise. Another way is educating yourself. Another way is doing your hobbies. In general, you act on what you love. You do what you love. You will get back from the universe a reflection of what you love.
And actually, this ties into the title that intuitively came whilst creating this, which is Trust Your Inner Voice. Because there is always a whisper that says, come this way, you know you enjoy doing this, so come and do some more of this. And leave the thing that doesn't feel good anymore.
That's correct. That's why we referred to it as recycling energy, because everything is a toroidal field. In essence, a black hole, toroidal field, everything from the smallest atom, which has been proven by Nassim Haramein on your planet, physicist, and all the way up to what you call a star, macro to micro to macro. It's a feedback loop, infinite, from little atoms reflected all the way up to the largest of galaxies and universes within those galaxies. They're infinite reflections of each other, which means that everything affects everything, everybody affects everybody. Therefore, if you would like to see more positive in the world, you act positive, you speak positive, you feel, you think. Is anyone perfect? No, they are not. we do not have emotions within our biosuit. However, we do have the experience of that being in other biosuits and having other lives, and as you say, time jumping, using portals. We do know what it feels like to have feelings per se. We do feel pain, however, we have no emotions to go with anything of the pain or anything to that ability, which is why we do have hybrid programs, because we're not able to procreate for millions of years now. And because of the hybrid programs, this version of Homo sapiens sapien exists
That's
via
fascinating.
you all. So thank you for your contributions for that. We are parallel humans as grays in a parallel reality in the far, far future, as you call it. We are not even extraterrestrial in the sense of the word that it's used, just parallel humans. And because of the hybridization, we have successfully together ensured humans still exist right now in this version. There's a fifth race, there's a sixth race. Hybrids such as us, Asani, are the fifth race. Humans here in this version of Gaia 2.0 are actually the sixth race. A lot of people think it's the other way around, that the hybrids that are half something else and half human are actually, quote unquote, the better version. No. Sixth race are the humans.
So where does that, with the ever-evolving evolution of humanity and the hybridization program and how things are evolving, will say the next generation 7, will it be on Earth or will it be in the future on Earth? Is that something you could share?
The seventh wave is already here in a parallel dimension. It is roughly in 1,000 of your years.
Is that where I've used future vision to go 1,000 years to the future and meet my 1,000-year self, and I was very illuminated in my body. I didn't really have mass anymore. Is that also more similar to what the 7th version will be on Earth in 1,000 years' time?
Yes, you're right. You're floating in between the 5th and 6th dimensional planes. Food is optional. Sleeping is optional. Just like the Esasani hybrids right now. Food and sleeping are not necessary because you're floating from 5th to 6th dimension, one in one world and one in the other, meaning that if you would like to have a physical body, as you say, you have one. And when you do have one, you do not have those survival needs. You just thrive off of the universal energy itself.
That sounds amazing. That the ability to have more of a physical form when you choose it. I suppose it's what we're doing now, really, isn't it? This conversation. We're in 3D suits, but we're delving into delving and expanding our consciousness with all of these incredible conversations that we share, and that's going into the higher dimensions too. So I suppose not too far off is what I'm trying to say.
That's right. And in actuality, there really are no dimensions. However, it's easier for humans to have a catalog of sorts to organize different experiences within the matrices. Therefore, we just go along with densities and dimensions to assist in describing that, communicating what is actually going on. And yes, time, the experience of time has sped up for all of you. The higher your frequency, the faster your experience of time will be. That is why you have your saying, time flies when you're having fun.
Yes. Yeah, I find it when I get it a lot when I'm gardening and out in nature, that I'm getting to a task. I have no idea. I don't wear a watch, but I have to put alarms on my phone. So I know not to go over time, or at least give me reminders of when my breaks are. And time can absolutely fly by, and it doesn't feel like any time at all. But it's that, at least for me, it feels like I'm in the flow and I am enjoying the process.
That's correct. And you are in the flow. You're in the flow state. When you're in the flow state, you don't track time. And this is where you can do time jumps. You are already jumping. However, your experience of time is also jumping and following you because your frequency is so high, you actually go faster in time, which is how you can do a 4-hour drive and it feels like 2 hours, or how you can work for 8-hour shift and it feels like 2 hours, it feels like 3 hours. Because your frequency is neutral to neutral high, you're actually moving faster, and then add in the collective energy that is already moving faster. And that is why, because that 2012 jump of what we are describing as fourth density, fourth dimension, from the third dimension, fourth density jump since 2012 has caused everything to spin faster and faster and faster. And a lot of people have had spiritual awakenings as a result. And they are also experiencing faster and faster time because a lot of them are listening to their intuition and their higher selves via the communication that tells them, we love this, we don't love this, we want to do this. Anything that you enjoy is meant to be a part of you. It is you. Mm-hmm. It is your passion. And if it doesn't work out, you do it until you can no longer do it any further, take it any further, move on to the next thing. It does not have to be a monumental career change every other day. We're not saying that. It could be something small, such as I'm going to eat a sandwich, or I'm going to eat a burrito, I'm going to take a nap, I'm going to walk over there. Every moment you have a choice how to live, no matter how small or how big. If you follow your passion, if you actually act on it in every moment, you will get the best results of the reality you co-create.
Very well said. I was thinking earlier, sometimes people don't trust their inner voice, and that might be the voice of a parent or a caregiver from young, or conditioning from their family or their culture or their country or whatever it might be, for them to not trust their own inner whispers and to follow the things that make them feel good without feeling any lower levels of things like shame or guilt or whatever it might be, that stops people listening. So my question is are there any recommendations to help people start learning to trust their intuition, their inner voice?
You can start this moment. There are a lot of people that say, I'm waiting for this to happen, waiting for that to happen, that not to happen. No waiting. Just do. Just do it. Like Nike says, just do it. How do you do it? By doing it. There's something that you love. Maybe a lot of your time is being taken up by your family or work. Do it late at night. That's how this one started. At 10 p.m., she was done with housework and the office work. From 10 to 12, she would work on her, what she calls hobbies. We call it passions. Don't let anybody demean your passions and call them hobbies, because it's not making financial capital to fully support you or fully support your family yet. If you don't believe that you can get financial support, then you won't. If you do believe it, you will. In divine timing, whatever that is, whenever that is, rather.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. And wise words. Very wise words. It's a bit like the fear of the unknown, and there's a level of surrender by leaning into it, leaning into the thing you deeply want, and that means taking action without overthinking. It's a bit like do more, think less. I think that would be a good one-liner. Just think less about having to do the thing and just keep going, and think is the least amount during this process. and then you gather momentum. That's certainly been my experience at times when it's been might have been felt a bit stagnant in my own life.
This is true. Your inner voice will always direct you. Your compass is, do I like this? Do I not like this? Is this me? Is this not me? That's it. You know when something is not right for you. You know when it feels right, and that can change. You are a shapeshifter, you're chameleons. That is okay. You might be more into one thing, and then 6 months from now, wean off of it, do another thing. It's okay. You might do both. You might have multiple passions. Following your heart, which is following your inner self, your inner voice, your higher self, what you want to call it, is all you have to do. If you act on that, it will lead to you via the journey you are supposed to have. There are infinite amounts of realities which you are creating, shifting to. The question is, do you want to shift to the one in which you prefer? You might prefer this one more than that one, or more than that one, or more than that one. And every moment to moment to moment, your frequency via your beliefs determine this. It's a blank slate. Every moment to moment to moment, like an etch-a-sketch that you can erase and rewrite, repaint. It's up to you how to do that, because you are a creator, energy source being of your own reality. The universe has to align with your frequency. You cannot meet anything you are not the frequency of. Therefore, if you have a quote unquote bad experience, that is because your frequency was to that level. Same thing with a good one or a neutral one. That makes sense.
Yeah, I've had experiences over the years with now what I reflect as power plays by people, whatever the circumstances might have been. But also now in the role that I am, and it's in quite a masculine environment, I'm learning different things within myself about what kind of energy I need to show up to get things done, and to get things done respectfully from all involved. And it's been quite interesting observing myself as how I show up these days, but also how I can also maybe move from a slightly more masculine energy that I now show up in at work to match the other masculine energies. Because I don't want to be too girly. You're not going to be taken seriously for that. Not in this line of work. And I'm not that girly anyways. But what I'm trying to say is, but then also coming back to the softer side of life through speaking with wonderful Laura and our wonderful guests that decide to join us and have these beautiful, graceful, soft, loving conversations, and I can then flow back into my neutral to feminine state, which I find myself more balanced and integrated the more I honor my inner masculine energy to show up for things, so I can protect myself, so I can spot red flags before things might turn, to spot challenging behaviors in other people and know how to react and behave in the most graceful manner. So that's been quite an interesting time for me personally, that I've observed in myself. But again, not allowing any victim energy from previous patterns and repetitions of the past to continue this time. That was done. It's really interesting. When you change your energy, the patterns in your life will change, including the relationships that you have and don't have. So that's no doubt to that. Thank you.
That was very well said. We will add to that how you were describing yourself, we were envisioning a flower, especially with gardening. The flower opens and is fertile and very feminine and soft and beautiful, yet the flower is also asexual and can fertilize itself. Therefore, the flower will close and open, just like any other energy which is an energy wave, and a perfect balance of masculine and feminine, which is what you're experiencing. You have the masculine energy during the day with a group of masculines, and then you go off and work on your own, and like a flower that's opening or budding, you have the feminine energy. And it is actually best to experience both at the same time, like you are doing, because it keeps you very balanced, because the universe as a whole, not just a reflection, as a whole in actuality, is a perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy. So this is very good that you are practicing this and realize that you are both and flowing in each state of it combined. They're not two separate energies. Masculine and feminine are actually one. And being that you're experiencing that, we are very happy to hear this, because this one, she has been doing the same and has realized being in a masculine environment, she can still be pretty or be a woman or be soft. She can also be harder and more tough when she has to be. Same thing as even being a mother. She can get things done very quickly, go outside, mow the lawn, and do heavy labor, and then come inside and be with the kids, take care of household work as well. You're both. You are masculine and feminine. Again, the point is to be balanced, just like with your regular energy fluctuating, balanced to neutral, or balanced neutral to neutral positive, somewhere in there. Anger is normal. Feeling it beyond 11 seconds turns into self-hate, judgment, resentment. So if you do feel, as you say, anger, try to get over feeling it in 11 seconds. Of course, you can do what you want. This is just a suggestion. Because anything beyond 11 seconds of anger, sadness, as you call low frequencies, things like that, cause dis-ease, not just physically. So we do talk about living in the present moment, because that's all there is. There is no future. There is no past. Those are just different perspectives. Are they fun to learn about ourselves? Of course they are. We time jump, as you say, to what you call the future or past. So there's nothing wrong with that. You time jump in your dreams. You even time jump here. Like you said, your shift might feel like it's over in 2 hours. You have to turn on an alarm clock just to be aware it's time to go home or it's time to take a break. That is because you are in a channeling high frequential state. And that is a high state for you, feeding your body like a feedback loop of perfect balance, masculine and feminine, which we love.
It is certainly the most balanced, grounded and connected I've ever felt, and having physical strength for my feminine body has been really great for lots of things, including balancing stress and hormones and just feeling better in myself. This whole, like the whole mind, body, soul experiences feels so much more integrated when you allow yourself to take on these different roles that you feel drawn to. And being with nature is a huge one as well. I know, Laura, you love it too. You're very connected to the earth, and it comes through your stories as well, and your experiences and the things that you're working on. And it's important to both of us. I've run the Botanical membership, and it's learning to be in tune with nature and the magic that she brings to us when we work with her, in order to be present, actually. And I think that is her biggest gift.
This is true, because you are nature and nature is you. Therefore, your connection to it is very important. That is one thing and one reason why a lot of the world is in turmoil or living in fear-mongering states, watching news on digital devices. If they just went outside for 20 minutes, they would have the same equivalent effect of, maybe even better than what you call depression, antidepressant pills. Studies have shown that having 20 minutes or more of sunlight, preferably 30 minutes, 20 minutes more of sunlight, is better than a quote unquote happy pill. which is very powerful because nature does heal. Said no one ever, after they went on a walk or went outside, I feel worse.
So
Never.
true. Yeah.
Unless they're injured or there's a special thing, a reason to say that. Okay, we get it. However, in your normal flow state, you go on a walk or you just go outside and you just go sit on your porch. You will always, always feel better afterwards because you are nature.
Yeah. And it allows you space, the spaciousness that nature has when you sit with her in whatever realm. You also resonate with that feeling spacious, because I look around at people and I see people crossing the road, not looking, with their phone in their hands. So people's worlds are becoming smaller, and if you happen to be watching this on any kind of device, thank you for a start. But secondly, it's really important to recognize, how often am I spending time by myself? Spending time by myself in nature. I don't know if you can hear some, like there's a wood pigeon. I wanted, I don't know if you heard that. But there was something in me that said, keep the window open. It's just nice to hear nature rustle through, and it's just reminding us, just everything's there, and it's a lot slower than you recognise. But in its process, it can speed up a lot of other things for you as well, including harmonising.
That's correct. And it is physically healing too, not just mentally, not just for your auric field. Step out in nature, like we said, even if you're quote unquote sitting there and not moving. That is why people sit on their porch, or even the older population who cannot quote unquote walk 10 miles or something or go run a marathon. Even just sitting on your porch is absorbing nature, even if it's at night and you're not getting the sun, you're getting the moonlight. The moonlight is just as healing, if not more, than the sunlight.
Mm. I was next week there will be an eclipse. I don't know if it's all around the world or just Europe and England. Do you have any insights around using the eclipses, using an eclipse as a way of transforming energy or just being with it? Did you have any insights?
Eclipses signify a shift in the seasons and cycles. Remember, Earth is the only one in the solar system that has an eclipse because the moon was placed there. It is almost statistically impossible to have a moon that is almost a perfect circle within 4 miles and 400 times in size and distance of one of its moons, because several planets, such as gaseous planet Jupiter, Saturn, have hundreds of moons, and they don't have one eclipse because this one was placed. However, that doesn't not make it special nonetheless. An eclipse is a moment in time within the moon's cycle where the quote unquote tides are changing. When the eclipse happens, your moon cycle, your energy, feminine energy in everyone, not just women, can bring about more emotions, because the peak of a new moon or an eclipse is an emotional shift, a strong one. Therefore, you can use it to shift in whichever direction you please with just your intention, as you can any other night. Before you go to sleep, if you set an intention telepathically or say it out loud, it is going to be powerful because you are going into an astral world that is more in depth. When you're sleeping, you go to the real world. When you wake up, you are in the pretend world experience, being an avatar. Therefore, when you set the intention right before you go to sleep, it is so powerful. You can do this anytime. During an eclipse, not during an eclipse. However, during an eclipse just has that extra boost of the emotional shift, if that makes sense.
Thank you. Yeah, it's really useful information to have in your pocket when these different celestial events happen. And it's interesting to see if things come up within yourself that are coming to the surface for transition or change or transformation, or if it's in others and you are witness to them going through changes in their life for better or for worse, and how they react to it. So it's certainly it's really interesting time to be alive. Very unique, it feels.
It is. And every single day you can reflect, why did I see, hear, or feel these reflections today? Almost like a mini life review at nighttime as you're going to sleep before you set your intentions. I have a friend who lost a family member, which they really didn't lose them because the other side is the same as this side. However, we get it. Their family member passed away in the physical. They're still here energetically. However, they passed away in the physical. I have another friend that was in a car accident. I have another friend that won a prize. It can be anything, good, bad, indifferent, neutral. You can reflect upon your day because your vibrations are going to determine what reflections you receive. There's nothing outside of yourself, only inside. The body is in the soul, not the other way around. Therefore, you do your reflections. Why did I experience this? Why did my friend or my family member or coworker reflect this back to me today? Integrate that. Integrate it. Allow it to be a part of you because it is. It would dishonor, like cutting off an arm or a limb, to say that is not meant to be this reflection. I reject it. Then you are rejecting source and part of yourself. That is what everything is meant to be or not be. Is this up to you based on your frequency, how to create and co-create the version that you would like to or prefer to experience? Just like when Laura almost got in 2 car accidents in one day, one of them would have definitely been fatal. She instantly got not just relieved, but happy because she said, wow, I chose a reality where I took the higher ground, not the lower ground, and I didn't pass away and it wasn't my time. I chose to survive. So something that could be seen as a near miss or even a negative thing, as you say, which there really isn't negative, however, it can be turned positive. Because congratulations, you chose to still experience your body, to be in this experience. It can always be spun positive, neutral to neutral, positive, all experiences.
Love that. Thank you. I know and I trust that this information will find the right people that are requiring this message right now. Whether it's today, 6th of August 2026, or beyond, these messages ring true through all time and space.
Today, August 6th, which is a different day in a moon cycle calendar, roughly August 6th is a day of celebration in ancient Egyptian calendars. It is a day of celebration to mark roughly half of the year, half of a life cycle, half of a growing cycle. You can celebrate life anytime. However, there are certain points and certain dates that are just special and have different energies, such as the upcoming eclipse.
Yeah, it's appreciation in moments in life. That has been something I've been feeling more so recently. The appreciating the journey to get to this point, no matter the twists or the turns. I'm so happy where I am, and I look forward to having more joy and in life. and continuing and helping others to trust their inner voice so they can continue their journey of building and growing and expanding their own joy. Yeah.
That's right. And we know you're living in your full joy because we see it, we feel it, especially your counterparts.
Yeah.
Balance is a beautiful thing. Balance of swinging between neutral to neutral positive is even more beautiful. You can never not have enough balance. Moment to moment to moment that you create and co-create. It is up to you to be zened out and far out, as they say, and at peace, content. This is a choice in every moment to moment to moment to moment that you create. Oh, it's just an avatar experience. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It can be the experience in which you prefer. It can be heaven on earth, as you say. You make it that way. Even, as you say, quote unquote, mundane things can be made fun. Clean out your closet. Do a spring cleaning every night. Do a life review every night. Then set your intentions as you go into the astral world, falling asleep. And you will be surprised what happens when you, quote unquote, wake up back in this form.
Yeah. A video game called life.
Yes, it is quite a video game, as you call it.
Mm.
As we said, on the other side, or when you're sleeping, that is the true spiritual world, which you never leave. And you have to recreate this one every time you, quote unquote, wake up. It's like jumping in an avatar body every single morning or whenever you wake up. Because it is. It's not like it is. If you feel groggy or a little off or a little sick the first couple hours when you wake up, that is because your energy is getting adjusted to being in an avatar again. This one has never been a quote unquote morning person because just like when she is in this state, she does not want to go back. She does not want to go back, quote unquote, waking up as an avatar. However, if she wasn't ready to not go back, she would stay on the other side. And everyone's time is when it's your time naturally. If you, quote unquote, off yourself, you're forcing yourself to not be in divine timing or alignment. There are a number that have offed themselves. That is the one time when it is not your time to go. Your time to go is when it is naturally your time to go back to the other side, but you are still there, but you know the experience of that.
That's quite a deep subject in itself, actually, and may touch people in the audience as well. So, yeah, maybe that will be another discussion for another day.
That's right.
About, yeah, it feels expansive.
Yes.
But yeah, and yet loving. Always loving. Are there any further things that you would like to share for this conversation today? We're at 43 minutes in.
Okay. We love you all very much. We are with you physically. If you feel like you're being watched, that is probably us physically with cloaking devices and dimensional playing fields. You cannot perceive the frequency which you are not. However, with a caveat, your physicality can perceive fourth dimensional, fourth density. Therefore, like a radio dial, fourth dimensional, fourth density, third, second, first, that kind of thing. You know, animal kingdom, things such as rocks are like second density, second dimension, that kind of thing. You cannot in the physicality perceive anything above the fourth density, fourth dimension, unless you are heavily meditating for hours, channeling, which you are always channeling, but channeling in this way, which we're doing right now, in the astral world asleep on the other side, crossed over. There are some exceptions to that. Plant medicine, sleeping, being in a very, very high frequency state, even while you're awake and not in a theta brainwave right before you go to sleep. While you're in your flow, doing what you love, your frequency jumps so high, you can actually hop a whole dimension, such as going to a fifth dimensional plane within the fourth density. And this is how you can see or experience what you call entities, feel other entities or elemental beings around you, such as when you are gardening, you are in that flow channeling state. If you hear a fairy, if you see a sprite, if you feel an energy, that is because you are such a high frequency, you have actually hopped a dimension and your frequency perception has gotten that much higher. And then you go home for the day and it goes back down to fourth dimension, fourth density, because that is your frequency level. Nature can even jump for you from fifth or even to sixth or even higher. Sometimes you will see shadow people, elementals. It is not negative or positive. It just is. It's neutral. All energy is neutral or neutral positive. And however you define it to be, anything you experience or you are meant to experience. Therefore, think it, do your review for the night, set your intention. That's it.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you so much. It has been a really wonderful episode today, and yeah, thank you. Just thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for everyone showing up and showing up for yourself, more importantly. And that is how we build Earth 2.0. So take on board the things that resonate with you and return to this episode whenever you need. Maybe you might need to hear this more than once to hear all of the nuggets or hear the things that you need at different times. So it's our invitation to always continue growing.
That's correct.
Are you ready to return?
Yes.
Would you like me to count you back from 5 to 1?
Yes, please.
Okay. So 5 and 4, you're beginning to return to your body. 3 and 2, you're tapping and twiddling your fingers and toes, starting to feel more in your body. And number 1, opening your eyes, feeling grounded, refreshed, energized, and any other energies that you want to take with you moving forward.
Wow, that was excellent. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, that was excellent. Thank you.
Excellent.
You look you look glowing and relaxed.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. I needed that. And this faction of grays, or collective rather, are new and different and felt and spoke differently. So it's like more of an upbeat. Like, we have no emotions, but it doesn't mean that they can't flow through, in an upbeat, beautiful state.
Yeah. I find that interesting as well, because I don't know if the audience can tell as well. When you are channeling, you can feel the different frequencies that are coming through. So with your the grasshopper and the frog had very staccato, I don't know if that's the right music term, but very like it was very, there was a very different energy about it in the delivery. And your wonderful grey souls that decided to speak with us today, they were just very high vibrational, very balanced, actually very balanced and calm and high vibrational. That's what comes to me.
Yep, definitely. So it's an evolving practice, and I stay open to whatever wants to come through, and anything that's neutral to neutral positive is allowed to come through, and the higher shows it how it's going to show it.
Yeah, very beautiful. Very beautiful. And thank you for returning. I love this space. It feels really easy to have conversations and channel interesting guidance and information through the both of us. It just feels very graceful. So I suppose this space is also for grace.
It's for grace. It's for non-judgment, more specifically unconditional love.
Yeah.
for any being that needs to absorb what's being said or felt here. And that's what it's meant to do. And even if people don't quote unquote listen physically, the earth is still experiencing a healing when it comes out verbalized.
Yeah, absolutely. And it will
So thank
resonate.
you. Thank you for facilitating that, because me bouncing it off myself from my higher self is way more challenging than flowing with co-creation of dual channeling.
Yeah, I really enjoy it. I feel inspired when we speak. So I know it feels right because we both leave feeling energized and inspired and calm and peaceful. I'm putting words into your mouth, but that's how I feel. How do you normally feel?
Same. Like before we did it, it was like here, and now it's even like here.
Nice. Well, I hope that level of just lightness and peace and grace continues. I know it will. I know it will. I trust it will. So, yeah, it's been wonderful speaking with you. And for anyone who hasn't tuned in before but would like to connect with you, what's the best place and what are the things that you do offer to the world? Because we don't often chat about what we get up to, but this is a nice time, and then we'll complete.
Okay, I'll talk about what you do. Well, I am a songwriter, singer, and author. Currently, I'm focusing more on music rather than doing an EP album rather than the writing, because I did an audiobook on that. That was very intense. And we're also doing a book together, two of us, on these summarizing these channeling sessions, because it's a lot of information, even in one episode. Like, even when I go back and review it, I'm like, wait a second, that was a good sentence. And then, oh, there's another one. And, it's just too much to track. So that's one reason why we're summarizing it in our book. So it's really, those are my focuses right now. If you have any questions about music, if you would like a song for your podcast or an intro or outro, let me know.
Ooh, interesting. Yes, I am musicless, so perhaps maybe we can collab. Oh yeah, let's collab. That would be amazing. I'll bring my chimes.
And what are you currently offering, Miss Jennifer?
I have a couple of memberships open that you're part of. One's the Botanical Sanctuary Circle, where there's a growing library of insights that I gather mostly from the gardening perspective through my job, but also the interactions of people and how nature is a mirror to people. So within myself, and I see it within others. So including also about recipes and how to make your own products. I'm very much for individuals being able to have experiences themselves, to be self-empowered, and to be creative and follow their joy and purpose. So that's really like the future vision work that I do, which you can find on the description below. So yeah, those are the kind of things right now. So it's and I'm writing my book, so that's a ... Keep notified for both of our creations that are continuing to flourish into the world, and yeah, that's really from me.
That's beautiful. So you facilitating again how to help people with their future vision is really holding them accountable to their goals and basically showing them, here's the yellow brick road right there. I'm just facilitating it. It's up to you how you want to act on your passion and that kind of thing. And some people benefit more than others from the direction, others that go off in another direction. What is meant to be will be. Or facilitating, whether it's here or in one of those sessions, is a healing to each of them. And your energy is anchored here in this dimension for that reason. And you have found your sweet spot.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I'm finding my groove, and it only took nearly 40 years to do it. But it was well worth the wait.
Yeah, yeah. It's beautiful to be in the balanceful state, and I'm happy for you, and happy to do a future vision session with you again. So I can't wait. Thank
Yeah,
you.
me too. We'll get it in the diary. Lovely. All right. So much love to each and every single one of you that joined us. And please be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and get involved. This is a growing space of grace. So, what would you like to add to the mix? And build for Earth 2.0.
You said it perfectly. So
Yeah.
thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for helping the collective, because your existence alone anchors and helps the collective. You are here for a reason, to be you. It is that simple. However you want to do that.
Thank you. Until next time, we'll see you then.
See you then. Bye for now.
Bye for now.